Hello, wonderful students. This is Marlena coming at you today with an exciting new video. So today we're going to talk about one of my favorite places in the whole wide world, and that's a place called Sea Isle City, New Jersey. While I share my screen with some pictures, I just want to say I hope you all had a good week, that you're all staying healthy, and that you got to play in the snow a little bit. I know I certainly enjoyed it. Um, so I hope maybe you built a snowman or had a snowball fight or did something fun and got out there. Okay, let me present my presentation. Been having some technical difficulties today, but we're getting there. All right, so Sea Isle City, New Jersey is located at the Jersey Shore, which some of you might have visited before. Ocean City, New Jersey, Sea Isle's neighbor. That's definitely a big town that you've probably been, you've heard of, or maybe you've been there because they have a boardwalk with lots of rides and activities and games and all kinds of fun stuff. So whenever I'm on the beach in Sea Isle, sometimes I'll wave to Ocean City because they're neighbors. And other places you might have been include Atlantic City, Wildwood, Cape May. They're also really well-known towns down at the Jersey Shore, but Sea Isle is always kind of forgotten. I remember growing up and I would tell people I was going to Sea Isle and they only really knew about Ocean City. So I'm excited to share Sea Isle with all of you. All right, so I grew up going to Sea Isle because my grandparents had a house there. So I've been going there since I was a baby. It's one of my very favorite places in the world and I absolutely love it. This here is the town's water tower, and they have this slogan on it. That's "Smile, you're in Sea Isle." This little sun, everyone's smiling and happy. And I always feel that way whenever I cross into town. I can't stop smiling. Maybe there's places that some of you have been that also make you feel like that, where you just are so excited to be there. You just cannot stop smiling. So that's how I feel when I go to Sea Isle. So hopefully there's a place that you feel like that as well. All right, so here is a picture of the beach. This here is the dune walkway to get onto the sand. And as you can see, it's not too far between the sand and the ocean. Some beaches are much, much bigger and it takes a long time to physically walk to the ocean. So that's a little something nice about Sea Isle, because I don't know about you, but I can't stand the feeling of my feet in the sand when it's really hot. I just do not like it. So this is a nice way to enjoy the beach and not burn your feet. So this here is a picture of the center of town. Oh, I did not take these pictures, by the way. Just a warning, I did not take these pictures. And over here are some shops and restaurants, same on this side. What's really interesting, if you follow my mouse, if you go out this direction, you can actually cross the bridge and leave town. But if you go this direction, you are at the ocean. So Sea Isle is not a very big town, physically in length like that, which I think makes it really nice. Once I'm there, I don't need to do much more than walk or take a bike. You don't really need your car to get around town. And over here to the right, they have a really beautiful stage where they host lots of family events like movie nights, karaoke, trivia, lots of fun activities for families, kids, adults, whoever. So yeah, I'm so sorry for the quality of this picture, but this is a picture of the tennis courts in Sea Isle. I don't know if any of you have ever played tennis. I played the sport in high school. It's my favorite sport to play, but I especially love to play it when I'm at the beach. I think it's a great way to stay active and get a little exercise in the morning before you head to the beach. Sometimes when you're on vacation, it's easy to get lazy and not do anything active, but playing tennis once or twice a week, on a week's vacation allows me to just feel a little bit better and get my body moving. So this is a picture of the promenade. As I was talking about before, some of those other towns like Ocean City, Wildwood, and Atlantic City, they have things called boardwalks. So they're really big, massive kind of areas with actual boards that you walk on, hence why it's called a boardwalk. And there's lots of games and rides and activities and things like that. But Sea Isle doesn't have that, but they do still have this thing called a promenade, which, as you can see, it's kind of like an asphalt, almost like the material of like a driveway. Um, and it's right up against the beach, so you can see the ocean over there. And they do have some shops and restaurants, but it's much more for people who want to bike or walk or jog, and less about nighttime going on the Ferris wheel and things like that. So it's still a really great feature of the town, but it's not as consumed by these kind of commercial things. But there are still some. It's a nice way to get around too, much more pleasant way than the road, much safer. This is a really cool image that I want to tell you guys a little bit about. So this is something called an overhead shot, and this is when a camera goes up, up, up above what they're taking a picture of and captures it from a different angle, which can really change the way that we think about what we're seeing. So the way I'm seeing this is Sea Isle City, this is the town. The way I'm seeing this from this angle is very different than how I would be seeing it if I was a person standing on the beach, right? So over here, this is the beach and this is the ocean. Pretty cool, right? But if I go over here, this is something called the bay. And the bay is another body of water that beach towns have for the most part. And it's just a different kind of body of water that has different creatures living in it, different types of fish, different things kind of go on at the bay versus the ocean. And as you can see back here, there's lots of different canals with lots of kind of marshy grass and land that really all connect with the different the bodies of water, which is really interesting and really unique, and just shows again how wonderful nature is. But this area, see, we're coming here in the bay, we're in the bay, we're in the ocean, and over here, this is an area where the bay and the ocean, those two bodies of water, they meet, and they form something called the inlet. So this part of town, the southern part of town, is called Townsend's Inlet, thanks to that connection between the ocean and the bay. So this is a bridge to go to the next town over, not Ocean City, but the opposite direction. And it's really interesting to me to see how this bridge looks overhead, how the different streets look and all the towns, and how small this town is. But when you're standing here, it looks very big. So it's really cool to see the perspective change in that way. So now I just want to tell you about some of my very favorite places to go when I'm in Sea Isle. So if you ever get the chance to visit, you can say, hey, my tutor Marlena, she said these places were good. So this is called Nickelby's, and it's a great place to go for breakfast. They also have lunch and dinner, but I usually go and I'll get a bagel or a smoothie bowl. They have good, pastries like cinnamon buns, and they're really known for their key lime pie. So I personally just love the building and how old-fashioned it is. I think it's really unique, and there's some nice outdoor space, and I just love the atmosphere at Nickelby's. The next place I want to tell you about is called Stakeout, and they are also a breakfast and lunch place. I've personally only had breakfast there, but they are famous for a dish where you can get pretty much every kind of breakfast food on it. So you can get everything from waffles to eggs to bacon to breakfast potatoes, everything you could possibly want, and you will leave feeling very full, I promise. It's delicious. And then this is a picture of a cinnamon bun from a place called Mrs. Brizzle's Buns, and they are simply the best cinnamon buns. Sweet and delicious, and you have to try one if you're ever in Sea Isle. Here's another picture of the beach. So I'm kind of going through what a day for me would look like. I would get breakfast at most likely one of those places, and then I would go to the beach, spend some time just relaxing, reading a book, going in the water a little bit, but I don't like going in the water too far. I'll put my feet in and spending time usually with family and friends, because we do have a family house. It's really nice to spend some time with my aunts and uncles and cousins that I don't always get to see. Again, I'm so sorry for the quality of this picture, but we're fast forwarding throughout the day to dinner time. Sea Isle has amazing seafood restaurants, and they also have really great Italian restaurants, and a few other places, but they're pretty much known for seafood and Italian. So this is a place called Carmen's, and they, again, kind of an old-fashioned building, and they have amazing seafood, outdoor seating right by the bay, and it's a really great experience and atmosphere. You really feel like you're at an old-fashioned seafood restaurant um, years ago. So my favorite thing to get is probably the scallops. Really good. And as I was mentioning before, Sea Isle is also really known for their Italian restaurants, and this is one of my favorites. It's called Basilico's, and they do many different kinds of dishes, um, everything from a simple pizza to a very extravagant pasta dish, to seafood options as well. They have really everything you would ever imagine. But my favorite thing to get there is actually a Caesar salad pizza. It's like a white pizza with Caesar salad on top, and it's delicious. But other than that, I'm always loved chicken parm. It's just a classic. It's really good there. And I, of course, end the night with ice cream. You have to go get ice cream when you're at the beach, any beach town. And this is a place called Marita's, and it's really not far from where my family's house is. So we can actually watch the line from where our house is and kind of monitor it and say, all right, when is it not too crowded? Because let me tell you, Marita's gets very crowded. So I used to love getting the cotton candy flavor. I know that sounds kind of gross, but it's good. And I've moved more into the Butterfinger, peanut butter, and chocolate kind of realm. They have really good s'mores as well. So you always have to end the night with Marita's. Um, and then I'd probably just go home and we'd watch a movie and go to bed. So I hope you enjoyed this presentation about Sea Isle. Let me stop sharing. Yeah, I loved getting to share my experience with you and one of my very favorite places in the whole wide world. And I hope you get the chance to visit one day. Stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.